We're trying to make a really solid unit here, so we just mill out the internal space for the circuit board from a solid lump of acetal. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. It's quite dark, so it can be hard to see, but what it makes for is a really solid intercom, very, very strong, very solid. And the idea is that every layer presses against each other, so the circuit board presses against every part of the enclosure, and the midsection presses against every part of the intercom. The circuit board and the keypad and everything, which means that there's no void spaces in between for it to be crushed. So it's a really solid unit. First thing we have to do, obviously, is drill the holes. Each intercom comes with a stencil like this. It shows the 4 mounting holes, shows the cable entry hole, and the rotation point should you want to rotate the intercom around to make it line up with the wall. The intercom requires a SIM card. It can be any network, any type of SIM card, as long as it can make voice calls and get text messages, and it goes in there. This is a nano SIM type. It goes with the little cutout in the top corner as shown in the picture. Once the SIM card's in place and you've got it screwed down, it's time to power it up. Now this little fluffy thing, it's like a foam seal, hopefully you can see that. That has some fluff on the top. The idea is that's to protect against creatures and spiders crawling into the intercom. So the cable goes over, hopefully you can see that, the cable goes over the foam piece like this. When the intercom is first powered on, you'll see the LEDs, the keypad flashing and the signal LED flashing away until it's acquired the network. I've just pushed the SIM card out a little bit so we can see what happens when there's no SIM card present or there's something wrong with the SIM card. Obviously the SIM LED lights up like that. The signal light keeps flashing to say it can't get a signal, and
SIM fault. Check orientation. Remove pin number from SIM.
Obviously the intercom also says that once. We know it's working, it's got a SIM card in, it's connected to the network, no fault lights on, we've had a text message out of it to know that it works. Everything's fine on this part, we're all ready. If it's a keypad unit, don't forget the seal that goes around the keypad. It's probably easier to fit it to the keypad now. The other part has a seal that's stuck to it, so you're not going to forget that. There's no wiring connectors or anything inside, we just have this spring contact here for the switch. So all ready to pop it on. It can be a bit tricky to get that around there sometimes, but this one's on fine. And when we press it down, you can see the light comes on the switch. We can press the switch to check it's working. Oh yeah, it's got numbers in it. There's one more critical thing. You'll either have screws like this, if you can see them, little black screws, or a screw like this. So a metal screw with a red washer. The 2 screws that need sealing are these center screws, so it's really important that you use a seal on these 2 center screws. They're not so critical, so sometimes we supply washers for them, but it's really important that you either use the red washer on the metal screw, or if you can see it, just try and tap it down there, you should be able to see a little rubber washer on the black screws, and that's really critical that you use them on the center holes, these 2 center holes. Finger tight should get you about flush, like in the picture. With the lid screwed down, you can just press the button to check the contacts have been made correctly.
Call. Send. Call me from master phone.
Obviously this one's ready for programming, it doesn't have any numbers in it. We're going to use the magnetic lid on this one, so I'll just pop that in place. Just let the magnet suck it into place. It should be quite tight around the button and quite tight around the speaker at the top. And there we go, ready. Obviously to get it off when you're using the magnet version, you need one of these suction cups. So just push it in the corner, probably best there, and then try your best to get off. There it is, quite loose, this one. It's actually, we've cheated with this one, it's only got 2 magnets in it. You might have a bit of a harder time with the ones with all the magnets in.